Our region's business is sponsored by PNC for the achiever in you.
So what's the secret to making $1 million? A big idea, hard work, being a better investor? Well, not according to the millionaires themselves. In a recent survey by PNC Wealth Management, they credit a much more prosaic strategy for their success, one any good banker will be happy to tell you about. And we have a good banker back with us today. Mike Malio is Senior Vice President of PNC Wealth Management within the PNC Financial Services Group. And welcome, good to have you back.
Thanks, good to be back, Bill.
Yeah, so I was intrigued. I know you take the pulse, of millionaires and other wealthy people from time to time?
That's right. We did a survey. This is our 10th annual Wealth and Values Survey at PNC. And we surveyed 473 millionaires, that is people who have $1 million in investable assets outside of their retirement plans.
Okay, and outside their home and other kinds of assets.
That's right.
So they got the real million to put to work for themselves, right? You kind of expect people like that to say, well, I was a genius, I had this incredible idea, I invented a whole new company, that's why I'm a millionaire. Most of them don't say that.
Most of them don't say that, and we were not shocked to learn. It's reinforcement. It's hard work. That was the key factor in becoming a millionaire among our survey respondents. Hard work.
Okay. And also saving, I noticed. They tend to be natural savers to some degree?
Right. So after the hard work, there were other factors that contributed to their financial success. And the first one really is saving early and regularly. And we know some of these things. Our parents who went through the Depression and the World War II, they told us these things, and now they're coming to bear in our survey. So saving regularly was a big factor. Controlling spending, also no surprise. That's a large factor. Wise investing, which we like to hear, of course, at the bank. And the fourth factor, and only fourth, this was a little bit surprising, was earning a lot of money every year. So to your point, Bill, that was not the major factor.
Okay, so they really felt, yeah, the fact you bring home a big paycheck isn't, because if you spend it all, what good have you done in terms of your long-term wealth creation,
Precisely,
right?
Precisely.
Yeah.
So when they cited hard work, that is 2/3 of the respondents cited hard work on becoming a millionaire. Now, unfortunately for some, only 7% cited luck. So if you're counting on luck, that's not going to pan out.
Oh, you think buying the lottery tickets, I should give up on that strategy?
I don't know about that, but it's not a likely strategy.
not one to bet your future on.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, it really, and as you say, it really reflects sort of the World War II generation's values, I guess, the people. That's probably a lot of the people you're actually talking with if you're talking to millionaires.
In fact, many of them became millionaires in the past 20 years, some in the last 10 years. So it's likely that they've had careers and they've saved over time, and they are perhaps in the World War II generation. Okay,
well, the baby boomers are starting to creep into that category, right? At least the leading edge, so I assume there's some of them among the group as well.
They really are. They really are. Now, another piece of news that isn't so good is it's hard to marry into wealth. In other words, 3%, only 3% of the respondents said, well, I married the money.
Oh, okay.
So that's not going to work either.
Okay, that's almost as bad as the lottery in terms of being a good strategy. The other thing was most of them, and the whole idea of just the saving strategy, a lot of them seem to come to sort of the investment management awakening a lot later on.
Good data on that as well, Bill. 53% of the respondents said, well, I'm sort of self-taught. I learned about finances on my own. But we followed up with a question of, how do you manage the finances now? And 77% of them, over 3/4, said, oh, well, now I have a professional manager. So naturally, that's what we do, and that was good for us.
I'm sure you like to hear that from the survey, but it does speak to how it gets to be more complicated the more assets you ultimately accumulate and that you have to decide what to do with. Right?
Very well said. That's right. So we like that aspect, and we also talked about, well, what are you interested in now? And it's living a comfortable life. They've earned the money. They've saved the money, they've invested wisely. Now they want just enough money to live comfortably, so their values change over time as well.
So it becomes less and less about sort of the accumulation part and just having a big mountain of money. It's more about how you can make the most of it.
That's right. That's right. They start to think about different things. It's not so much about building the wealth. It's not so much about sort of the scorecard of proving how successful we've been. It's not even about the children anymore, right? That's the major focus. But later in life, the respondents say, okay, we've done our job there, and the children are out on their own. Not so much about inheritance. Only 12% of respondents said that they got there through inheritance. So that's a little bit of a surprise as well. So it's hard work and saving.
Well, that's true, because I'm sure there are a lot of folks out there who think, well, that person's successful because they must have gotten a lot of money from their parents. But what you're saying is, well over 80% of them don't get there that way.
That's precisely the case. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So some interesting responses and some not so interesting. But I think the major point of the survey really, Bill, is any of us can do better financially if we follow some of those basic values that the millionaire respondents told us about.
All right, and the first and foremost being work hard and save your money.
That's right.
All right, great words to the wise, as always. Time-honored advice. Mike Malio from PNC Wealth Management. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Bill.
And we'll be back in a minute with a little more dollars and cents. Stay with us.